Some people are 30 years old and already tired of life. And some people? Man. They're 70, dancing at weddings, laughing too loud, making jokes nobody asked for, smiling at strangers in the supermarket like they own the place. You ever notice that? You look at them and think, how are you still glowing like that? Not perfect, not rich, not wrinkle-free, but alive. That's the word, alive. And the crazy part? Most of them are not doing anything dramatic. They're not waking up at 4 a.m. to wrestle lions. They're not drinking some magical anti-aging smoothie made from leaves harvested on a mountain by monks named Gregory. No. Usually, it's tiny habits. Little things, small behaviors, tiny ways they move through life. And according to Carl Jung, the human soul ages long before the body does. That's deep. Because some people don't get old from birthdays. They get old from stress, from bitterness, from routine, from carrying emotional luggage heavier than airport baggage fees. You know the kind of luggage I'm talking about. Some people are carrying arguments from 1997, still angry, still replaying that one thing Auntie Rebecca said at Christmas. Meanwhile, Auntie Rebecca has moved on, started gardening, and forgotten everybody's name. But today, we're talking about the 7 tiny habits that make people feel young again. Not fake young, not trying too hard young. Nobody's asking you to wear ripped jeans at 65 and start saying YOLO on Facebook. Please, respect yourself. We're talking about the kind of young energy that makes people magnetic, the kind where your eyes still shine, your laugh still feels real, your spirit still feels awake. And trust me, some of these habits are so small you'll laugh, but they change everything. So grab your tea, your coffee, or that suspicious juice in the fridge you keep smelling before drinking. And let's talk, because this one is personal. Habit number 1. Curious people stay young longer. I'm serious. Have you noticed that the people who age the fastest are usually the people who stopped being curious? They stop asking questions, stop trying new things, stop exploring life. Everything becomes, I've seen it already. I know. I'm too old for that. That sentence alone, I'm too old for that, can age somebody by 10 years instantly. You tell somebody, come let's dance. They respond like their knees are government property. No, 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 my age. Your age? Sir, you're 52, not an ancient scroll. Meanwhile, there's a grandmother somewhere learning TikTok dances and confusing her entire family. And honestly, that energy keeps people alive. Jung believed the second half of life should not become smaller. It should become deeper. That means learning new things, trying things badly, being willing to look silly. Because the moment you stop playing, life starts drying up. And let me tell you something funny. Children are exhausted half the time, falling down, crying, sticky for no reason. But they still feel alive because they're curious. Adults, we know how to pay bills but forgot how to enjoy Tuesday afternoon. That's the problem. You know somebody is becoming emotionally old when they stop being amazed by anything. No music touches them, no conversation excites them, no dream wakes them up. Everything becomes grey. But the people who stay young, they ask questions. How does that work? What if I try this? What happens if I travel there? What if I start over? That curiosity feeds the soul, and honestly, it makes people attractive too, not just physically, energetically, because nobody wants to be around somebody who acts like life already ended. You ever sit beside somebody who complains for 3 straight hours? Even your spirit starts buffering. You begin looking for emergency exits. But curious people, they pull life toward them. So maybe this week, try something tiny, cook something new, listen to music from another country, watch the sunrise, learn one random fact, talk to someone outside your usual circle. Your soul needs surprise. That's how youth stays alive. Habit number 2. Young feeling people laugh at themselves. Oh, this one is powerful, because do you know what makes people old fast? Taking everything personally. Everything. You tell them, you forgot your glasses. Now they're offended for 4 business days. You joke with them lightly, and suddenly you're attending a courtroom session. But people who stay young, they laugh, especially at themselves, and honestly, this habit alone can save marriages, friendships, family gatherings, and group chats, because life is already awkward. Why are we pretending we're perfect? Everybody has embarrassing moments. Everybody. Some people just hide theirs better. You ever wave at someone who wasn't waving at you? You're there smiling confidently. Then suddenly realize they were greeting the person behind you. Now you're stuck doing a fake stretch in public. Pain. But young-spirited people laugh and move on. That matters, because psychologically, humor creates emotional flexibility, and emotionally flexible people age slower mentally. Jung talked about embracing the shadow, the imperfect side of ourselves. And honestly, one sign somebody accepts themselves is this: they can laugh without shame. Not every mistake needs a funeral. Sometimes you just need water and a good laugh. And let me say this too. Some of the happiest older people are not the ones with perfect lives. They're the ones who stop trying to appear perfect. Big difference. They dance badly, sing loudly, tell stories twice, forget where they put their phone while holding the phone, and they laugh about it. That joy, that lightness, that keeps people young, because stress hardens the face, but laughter softens the spirit. Some people need fewer anti-aging creams, and more moments where they laugh until they can't breathe. You know the kind of laugh where no sound comes out at first? You're just shaking like a malfunctioning washing machine. Those moments heal people, seriously. Habit number 3. They stop rushing through life. This one hit me hard, because modern life is making everybody feel 97 years old. Everybody is rushing. Fast food, fast relationships, fast conversations, fast scrolling. Even resting has pressure now. You sit down to relax, then somehow feel guilty for relaxing. Your brain starts whispering, you should be productive. You should answer emails. You should build an empire before Wednesday. Meanwhile, your soul is begging for one peaceful moment. And here's the strange thing. People who feel young usually move slower emotionally. Not lazy, not unmotivated, present. That's different. They actually taste their food. They enjoy conversations. They notice sunsets. They walk without acting like they're escaping a zombie attack. And you know what's funny? Kids naturally do this. A child can spend 45 minutes staring at ants. Adults can't even finish a meal without checking notifications 17 times. We are overstimulated, and overstimulation ages people emotionally. Jung believed modern humans disconnect from the soul when life becomes too mechanical. And honestly, he was right. Some people wake up already stressed. Phone, bad news, emails, pressure, comparison. Before breakfast, your nervous system already needs therapy. But young-feeling people create tiny, peaceful moments, tiny rituals, morning walks, music while cooking, talking slowly with someone they love, sitting outside at night, dancing in the kitchen. Those moments sound small, but they tell the nervous system, you are alive, not just surviving. And honestly, sometimes the most youthful thing you can do is slow down enough to enjoy your own life. Because what's the point of rushing through a life you never actually experience? Habit number 4. They keep flirting with life. Relax. I know some of you immediately became interested after hearing the word flirting. Calm down. I'm not talking only about romance. I mean people who still engage with life playfully. They still compliment people, still smile, still tease, still enjoy beauty. That energy matters. Some people become emotionally retired too early. Everything becomes serious. Even ordering food sounds stressful. Yes, bring the rice, like they're negotiating international peace treaties. But people who feel young, they still have spark. And spark is not about age. I've seen 75-year-olds with more charisma than people in their 20s. Why? Because energy is emotional, not numerical. Some people are technically young, but spiritually exhausted. Meanwhile, some older people walk into a room and suddenly everybody feels happier. That's life force, and playful energy keeps it alive. Jung believed the soul needs expression, not suppression. That means singing randomly, dancing badly, making jokes, being affectionate, having crushes, feeling excitement. Yes, even later in life. You don't stop being human because you aged. And let me tell you something beautiful. People who stay emotionally alive are usually easier to love, because they bring warmth, not constant heaviness. Nobody wants every conversation to feel like a tax meeting. Sometimes laugh small, tease each other, act silly. One playful moment can remove stress from an entire day. And for couples, please continue flirting. I'm begging you. Some marriages became customer service relationships. Did you pay the bill? Where's the remote? Who finished the rice? That's not romance. That's surviving. Flirt a little, send funny messages, dance in the living room, hold hands outside, embarrass your children slightly. It's healthy. Habit number 5. They protect their peace aggressively. Oh, yes. This one changes faces. You can literally see it. Some people look tired not because of age, but because everybody has access to them. Every problem, every drama, every toxic conversation. They are emotionally available 24 hours a day like customer support, and their spirit becomes exhausted. But youthful people, they learn boundaries, not cruel boundaries, healthy boundaries, because stress ages people fast. You ever meet somebody after one toxic relationship? They aged like expired milk. Suddenly they need motivational quotes every morning just to survive Tuesday. Peace matters. Jung talked about individuation, becoming your true self instead of living for everybody else. And honestly, that process requires boundaries. You cannot stay emotionally young while constantly abandoning yourself. Impossible. Some people say yes to everything, then secretly resent everybody. No. Protect your energy. And please understand, peace is not boring. Peace is beautiful. Some people are addicted to chaos because calmness feels unfamiliar. If there's no drama for 2 days, they become uncomfortable. They start creating problems manually. But peaceful people, they glow differently. They sleep better, laugh easier, think clearer, and honestly, their skin probably thanks them too. Half of aging is stress wearing a Halloween costume. Protect your peace. Mute people if necessary. Leave toxic environments. Stop arguing with people committed to misunderstanding you. Your nervous system deserves better. Habit number 6. They stay connected to younger energy. Now, listen carefully. I'm not saying surround yourself only with young people and suddenly start using slang incorrectly. Please don't wake up tomorrow saying, "Bruh, that sandwich was bussin'." Your grandchildren will report you. What I mean is, people who stay young emotionally stay connected to fresh energy. Children, teenagers, creative people, dreamers, funny people. Because energy spreads. You become like what surrounds you. And some people spend all day around negativity, complaining, fear, bitterness. After a while it enters their spirit. But youthful people remain connected to aliveness. That's why grandparents who spend time playing with grandchildren often seem happier. Not because children are easy. Children are tiny emotional tornadoes, but because children pull adults back into presence, into imagination, into laughter, into movement. And honestly, older people also help younger people feel grounded. That connection matters both ways. A society becomes emotionally sick when generations stop talking to each other. Wisdom needs youth. Youth needs wisdom. That balance keeps people alive. And let's be honest, some younger people also need older friends because the internet is confusing everybody. 1 minute you're watching cooking videos. Next thing you're learning how raccoons steal bread in Canada at 2 a.m. Human connection keeps people balanced, not algorithms. Real conversations, real laughter, real stories. That's medicine for the soul. Habit number 7. They never stop dreaming. Man, this one almost makes me emotional. Because the saddest thing is not wrinkles. It's when somebody stops imagining a future. That's when aging becomes painful. The people who feel young usually still have something ahead of them. Something exciting. Something meaningful. Something they're becoming. It doesn't need to be huge. Maybe they want to travel. Start painting. Open a small shop. Learn piano. Fall in love again. Heal emotionally. Write a book. Dreams give energy to the soul. Without dreams, people shrink, and Jung believed life always asks us to continue growing inwardly. Always. Not just at 20, not just at 30, always. That means your story is not finished. I don't care if you're 40, 60, 80. Your spirit still needs movement. Some people think aging means disappearing quietly. No. You are still allowed to become more alive, and honestly. Some people don't even become themselves until later in life. That's the beautiful part. Some people spend decades trying to impress everybody, then finally relax and become free. And suddenly, they laugh more, dress how they want, travel, dance, speak honestly. That freedom makes them glow. Because youthfulness is not really about looking young. It's about remaining emotionally open to life. That's the secret. Not perfection, not money, not pretending to be 21 forever. Just openness. Openness to joy, to people, to growth, to laughter, to wonder. And maybe that's why some people stay beautiful no matter their age. Their soul never closed. So tonight, I want you to think carefully. Which part of you has become too serious, too tired, too closed off, and what tiny habit can bring you back to life again? Maybe curiosity, maybe laughter, maybe rest, maybe peace, maybe dreaming again. Start small. Tiny habits, tiny moments. That's how people slowly become alive again. And if you made it this far, I want you to comment this. I'm still alive. Not surviving, alive. And honestly, that alone is something to celebrate. Subscribe if you enjoyed this conversation, and come sit with me again in the next video. Because we're not just talking about aging here, we're talking about becoming fully human before life passes by.